What's good YouTube, welcome to my channel, Last and Conditioning. Alex Leonidas is spot on when we're talking about full body training. And there's actually some reasons why. He is completely right that we have one nervous system, and the nervous system recovers as a whole. So one big thing that is extremely important to talk about when we talk about the nervous system and the full body approach. You train certain things and you have like a main focus on one of your full body days. One day could be shoulders, one could be quads, another one could be back, and then you change it up over time. But then your nervous system recovers as a unit. And for people who have, for whatever reason, a lower fatigue resistance than someone else, or generally just recover slower than someone else, and your recovery rate, especially your nervous system, you cannot do all that much about it. There are basically two things that you can do in terms of your nervous system to make it recover faster. One, don't consume caffeine. Two, prioritize your sleep. Sleep is something that we can all control to a very large degree. So these are the main factors that will determine how well your nervous system is going to recover. And the reason why I say don't consume caffeine in terms of your sleep, if you consume caffeine, you can likely disrupt your sleep. So those two basically sticks together. So basically control your sleep or manage your sleep really. That really is going to impact how well your nervous system recover. So if we say you have perfect sleep and you sleep 7 or 8 hours of quality every single night and your recovery still isn't all that great, like you try a 4-day split and it doesn't work for you, but 3 days full body works awesome, perfect. Then do that. It simply just means your nervous system cannot handle training more than 3 days per week, which is perfectly fine because you can do full body perfectly well. I mean, look at Alex Leonidas. He has done it for years and it works incredibly well. People have this idea that full body or some other split is not going to work because it's not something in particular. But the reality is, all splits basically work, but all splits also have strengths and weaknesses. A big weakness with like the full body approach is you cannot really have a focus, or you have to sort of like make it one day more back focus, one day more chest focus, one day more leg focus potentially. You cannot have a holistic focus. You cannot realistically go in and then fully like train your full body in terms of growth, because if you're going to do that, that means you would probably be having 30 or 40 sets per session, and then like the whole idea of doing full body in terms of like managing your recovery, that simply goes out the window. So that wouldn't really work for you. The full body approach can and will work no matter what type of training you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're doing bodybuilding or strongman, powerlifting, or so on and so forth. In terms of being a strength athlete, are you going to be the absolute best you possibly could be with 3 days per week? No, but I will say this, as a strongman myself, if you have a limited recovery ability, you will not be able to be even a semi-decent strongman. Because a lot of the things that we actually do is extremely fatiguing, and if you don't have a body that is able to flush out that fatigue relatively quickly, you will constantly be fatigued and beat down, even if you control for volume and RPE and all these variables that we actually have, then you will not be able to fare well. You could potentially be a decent powerlifter, but you're not going to be the best powerlifter. Something like a strongman you can write off completely, but you can very well still be a bodybuilder or, a football player or something else, because those things are much less fatiguing, and you can still develop good strength and you can develop a good physique, which I think is probably what most people are really after: a decent physique and decent strength. Most people, realistically speaking, they don't care about overheading press like 300 plus pounds. Like most people don't really care all that much. Like they think it would be cool to be able to do it, but they don't care to the extent that they want to chase it and make it their basically entire life, which is perfectly fair. So this is actually some of the reasons why the full body approach works, and it always will work, and it can work well. And if you, as a strongman, if you aren't actually a strongman and you are worried about that I can only train 3 days per week, if you manage things well those particular 3 days, you can still make some progress, but you're not going to make the same progress you could if you're training 4 or 5 days per week and managing all the variables. So, thank you for watching. Last Conditioning, signing out.